Marion Tribe from Marylebone in London. Joe Shelley from Adlin, West Yorkshire. David Hosgood from Cardigan in Dyfed. Tom Weir from Hamilton in Lanarkshire. Spencer Pryor from Burnside in Glasgow. Hugh Stewart from Gerrards Cross in Buckinghamshire. Noel Woodhead from Weaverham in Cheshire. Christopher Cook from Amersham in Buckinghamshire. Mick Fleming from Bristol. Stanley Miller from Kenton in Middlesex. Ingram Wilcox from Bath. Roger Robinson from Harold Wood in Essex. David Jervis from West Molesey in Surrey. Leslie Booth from Huddersfield and Carl Wilding from Nottingham are all here to play the 15-to-1 Grand Final. Introduced by William G. Stewart.
Thank you, hello, and welcome to the 15th 15-to-1 Grand Final. 15 previous winners with us today. There's how the finals board ended up. 9 scores above 200, the most we've ever had, and 181 at the bottom, the highest score ever required for a place in the Grand Final. 5 previous Grand Finalists up there. Christopher Cook, David Jervis, Roger Robinson, our reigning champion Leslie Booth, and a previous 15-to-1 champion Stanley Miller. So it's a fairly star-studded lineup. And our top of the finals board trophy, that beautiful marble Roman head from the 1st century BC for that marvellous score of 292 goes to Christopher Cook. Laura?
Well done, Christopher. Once or twice I thought you would lose your position, but you held on.
This is what today is all about. Our 15-to-1 trophy, this beautiful 6th century BC East Greek 3-lipped Oenokwe, which is a posh description of a wine jug. And now, let battle commence. As usual, 2 questions each in the first round, 1 correct answer from you to survive, and we begin with Marion Tribe from Marylebone in London. Marion, radio. Which Radio 4 programme links the names Russell Harty, Richard Baker and currently Melvyn Bragg?
No idea.
Start the Week, BBC Radio 4. Joe, what name did British Telecom give to Sunday, April the 16th, the day on which millions of telephone numbers were changed?
Telephone Day.
Just Phone Day. David, television and films. What on television and in a series of films has the registration number NCC 1701?
It's the registration number of the Starship Enterprise.
Tom, please. The last was held in the United Kingdom on Sunday the 21st of April 1991. The next will be held in the year 2001. What?
Census.
National census?
Yeah.
Spencer, glossolalia is the technical term for which phenomenon often practised by persons undergoing a religious experience?
Transformation, coming into another body.
It's speaking in tongues or gift of tongues. Hugh, please. Which French government department is based at the Quai d'Orsay?
The Foreign Ministry.
Noel, please. The Oscars. Which British lyricist has won 2 Oscars for his contributions to Aladdin in 1993 and The Lion King in 1995?
Tim Rice.
Yes, Sir Tim.
Oh.
Christopher. Shakespeare, the most notable historical event in the reign of King John, is not mentioned in the Shakespeare play about his life. Which event?
Magna Carta.
Mick, which organisation, founded in Britain in 1946, takes its name from the Latin for table?
Rotarians.
Mensa. Stanley, television. The name, please, Christian name and surname, of the character played by Helen Mirren in the Prime Suspect series.
No, it's gone.
Jane Tennyson. Ingram, literature. The characters Gandalf, Frodo and Bilbo Baggins. Their creator, please.
Tolkien.
Roger, which film at the 1995 BAFTA Awards ceremony won 5 awards? Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress and People's Vote for Most Popular Film?
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
David, titles. Which hereditary post, whose duties include overseeing major ceremonials, is held by the Dukes of Norfolk?
The Lord High Chamberlain.
Earl Marshal. Leslie, what name was given to the military alliance between the Soviet Union and communist countries of Eastern Europe, established in 1955, dissolved in 1991?
The Warsaw Pact.
Carl, which order, the highest in the personal gift of the Queen, was bestowed on Lady Thatcher in April?
Member of a Privy Council.
The Order of the Garter. Marion, your second question. Who in the 19th century had the address Number 1 London, the house being Apsley House in Hyde Park?
The Duke of Wellington.
Joe, please. Who in the 16th century was the last English monarch to be excommunicated by a pope?
Henry VIII.
Elizabeth I. David, which special annual celebration was marked on November 13th in 1994, will be on November 12th this year and on November 10th in 1996?
Remembrance Day?
Remembrance Sunday, yes. Tom, which of the 7 wonders of the ancient world was the tomb of an Anatolian king built by his widow, Artemisia?
The mausoleum at Halicarnassus.
Spencer, please. In which European city are the headquarters of NATO?
Brussels.
Hugh, what name did Oscar Wilde use when living in exile in France during the last years of his life?
Holland.
Sebastian Melmoth. Noel, please. Which national Sunday newspaper has 2 supplements called Style and Culture?
Mail.
The Sunday Times. Christopher, Four Corners is the only place in the USA where the boundaries of 4 states come together. 2 of those 4 states, please.
New Mexico, Arizona.
Colorado and Utah. I wonder you didn't give me the 4. Nick? Wim Kok, spelt W-I-M-K-O-K. Wim Kok is the Prime Minister of which European country?
The Netherlands.
Stanley, please. If the Prime Minister is absent from the House of Commons at Prime Minister's question time, the holder of which government position takes his place?
The Leader of the House.
Yes. Ingram, the BBC. Who in February and March delivered the 1995 Reith Lectures on Radio 4, his subject being Cities for a Small Planet?
Prince Charles.
The architect Sir Richard Rogers. Roger, music and the media. The name, please, of the conductor who is also a governor of the BBC.
Carl Davis.
Dr. Jane Glover. David, please. The name, please, of the nun and television personality who is the author of A Child's Book of Prayer in Art.
Sister Wendy.
I need her name.
Beckett.
Yes. Leslie? Trades unions. The NAHT, a trade union not affiliated to the TUC. What does NAHT stand for?
National Association of Head Teachers.
Carl, please. On which river do both Durham and Sunderland stand?
The Tyne.
The Wear. Two down, 13 to go. Laura?
And they are Joe Shelley and Carl Wilding. And of the remaining 13 contestants, 4 still have their 3 lives intact.
You know the rules, Marion. Give me a correct answer to this question and we can get on our way to selecting 3 of you for the final of the grand final. What items are classified by the Dewey Decimal System?
Numbers.
Books, library books.
Oh, right, yes.
David, BBC Radio. Who took over as the host of Radio 1's Breakfast Show on the 24th of April?
No idea.
You're the only one in the country who doesn't know. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, oh.
Tom, Spencer Tracy, the first man to win consecutive Oscars for Best Actor, 1937 and 1938. Who was the second and so far only man to equal that achievement?
Tom Hanks.
Yes, 94 and 95. A number, please, Tom.
Number 12.
Roger, what is the name of the Channel 4 Saturday programme on which viewers have their say on what they've seen on television?
Right to reply.
A number, please.
3.
Science, David. Ions of 2 elements are chiefly responsible for hardness in water. Calcium is 1. What's the other one?
Magnesium.
A number, please.
Number 10.
Stanley, what does a daily copy of Hansard cost now?
£1.50.
£7.50. Again, please, David.
14.
Tosca, Madame Butterfly, La Bohème, the composer, please.
Puccini.
A number, please.
Number 6, please.
Hugh, who will take over in September as Deputy Governor of the Bank of England in succession to Rupert Pennant-Ray, who resigned in March?
The previous Director General of the CBI, whose name escapes me.
Howard Davis. Again, please.
Number 5.
Spencer, please. Who, in 1971-72, was the last man to hold the position of Prime Minister in Northern Ireland?
James Molyneux.
Brian Faulkner. Again, please, Leslie.
Number 7, please.
Noel, which husband and wife team present The Exchange on ITV?
No idea.
Mike Smith and Sarah Green. Again, please, Leslie.
Number 9.
Mick, the 50 states of the USA, which is the largest state in terms of area?
Alaska.
A number, please.
Number 13.
David, in what activity is Prince Nassim Hamed, who comes from Sheffield, a famous name?
It's a boxer.
He is a famous boxer, and a jolly good one too. A number, please.
Number 5, please.
France, please, Spencer. In which palace in Paris does the National Assembly meet?
The Élysée.
The Bourbon Palace. Again, please, David.
Number 7, please.
Proverbs. No, this one comes from a saying from Benjamin Franklin. Nothing is certain but what?
Death and taxes.
A number, please.
Number 14.
Leslie, the head of state is President Dr. Mario Soares. The Prime Minister is Professor Aníbal Cavaco Silva. Which European country?
Portugal.
A number, please.
Number 10, please.
What in a circus, Stanley, would you expect a funambulist to do?
Tightrope walker.
A number, please.
Number 1.
William Lovett was a leader of which 19th century political reform movement?
The Chartists.
Yes, or Chartism, yes.
Yes. Number 14, please.
Leslie, why is the American Walter Burley Griffin a famous name in Australia?
There's Burley Griffin Park in the Australian Capital Territory.
I want to know why he's a famous name. There is a Burley Griffin Park.
He was the first Governor-General of Australia.
No, he's the architect who laid out the plans of the capital city in Canberra. Again, please.
Number 8, please.
Christopher, and the plans for which capital city were laid out by Lucio Costa in the 1950s?
Brasilia.
A number, please.
Number 10.
Stanley, sport and politics. Who is the Member of Parliament for Falmouth and Camborne?
Seb Coe.
A number, please.
Number 1.
Britain's highest paid woman is an author. Last year, she made £11.9 million. Her name, please?
Barbara Cartland.
Barbara Taylor Bradford. Again, please, Stanley.
Number 3, please.
Astronomy, David. The Pleiades is a group of stars named after the daughters of Atlas and Pleione. How are they more commonly known?
The 7 Sisters.
Number, please.
Number 8, please.
From where, please, in the Bible, Christopher, did Oscar Wilde get the title for his prose work, De Profundis?
Psalms.
Yes, Psalm 130, Out of the Depths. A number, please.
6, please.
Hugh, when first introduced in Britain in November 1922, which licence for a then news service cost 10 shillings per annum?
For broadcasting, receiving sound broadcasting.
Yes, the radio licence. A number, please.
8.
Christopher, which of the 9 countries which play Test cricket has only ever won one Test match?
Ceylon.
Zimbabwe. They only started in 1992, so they're not doing too badly, I suppose. Hugh, please.
4, please.
Tom, which state in the USA has the nickname the Equality State, being in 1869 the first to give women the vote?
Colorado.
Wyoming. Again, please.
14.
Radio 4. Which programme regularly presented by Christopher Searle is broadcast on Friday evenings at 7:20 p.m. and repeated on Sunday afternoons at 3:30?
Is that pick of the week?
Yes, Leslie. A number, please.
Number 10, please.
Trades unions, Stanley. What do the initials MSF stand for?
Manufacturing, Scientific and Financial.
Well, it's manufacturing, science and finance, but yes, OK.
Number 6, please.
In what way was the name Alvar Liddell a famous name in the 1930s?
During the war, he was a radio newsreader. I think pre-war he could have been an actor.
Well, I'm going to accept your answer. I'm not sure if he was an actor before he was a newsreader announcer, but he was a famous newsreader announcer in the 30s as well as the 40s. In fact, he announced the abdication in 36, and Neville Chamberlain's speech announcing the declaration of war in 39.
Number 3, please.
David, what is represented by a mechanical model known as an orrery?
Movement of the planets around the sun.
Yes, the solar system. A number, please?
Number 4, please.
Tom, in line of succession to the throne, Princess Margaret is at number 11. What's the highest number she's ever been in line of succession?
2.
Yes, when King George VI was still alive and before Prince Charles was born. A number, please?
Number 11, please.
Ingram, an area of the Mediterranean. The name, please, of the stretch of water which lies between Malta and Sicily.
Straits of Pantelleria.
It's called the Malta Channel. Again, please, Tom?
13, please.
David, in the Australian song Waltzing Matilda, what is a Matilda?
Thief.
A backpack. Again, please?
Number 8, please.
The Bible, please, Christopher, the first book of Kings. Which king of Israel was anointed by Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet?
Solomon.
Number, please?
7, please.
No, the Channel Tunnel. What is the name of the appropriately chosen animal mascot of Le Shuttle?
No idea.
Marcus the Mole. Again, please, Christopher?
10, please.
Stanley, which regular human activity is divided into a paradoxical stage and an orthodox stage?
Sleep.
A number, please?
Number 14.
Leslie, what military nickname or epithet was won by the 93rd Highland Regiment, later the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, at the Battle of Balaclava?
The Thin Red Line.
A number, please?
Number 11, please.
Philosophy, Ingram. What is meant in philosophy if a word is described as heterological? Heterological.
Against logic, it's...
You are sort of on the right track, but you've got to give me the proper answer.
It's the contrary of logic.
No, it means the word itself does not possess the sense it describes. Like, French isn't a French word, long isn't a long word. Again, please, Leslie.
Number 6, please.
Hugh, in which century did the Vikings first raid Britain?
The 8th.
A number, please?
13.
How old was Adrian Mole, the creation of Sue Townsend, when his secret diary was first published?
13 1/4.
3/4. Again, please, Hugh?
10, please.
Stanley, the geodesic dome was developed by which famous American architect and engineer?
Buckminster Fuller.
A number, please?
14.
Leslie, which explosive is principally composed of charcoal, saltpetre and sulphur?
Gunpowder.
A number, please?
Number 3, please.
David, what name was given to the burgher poets and musicians of Germany between the 14th and 16th centuries?
Meistersinger.
A number, please?
Number 12, please.
Roger, which Jewish feast is celebrated on the first and second day of the month of Tishri?
Rosh Hashanah.
Yes, the Jewish New Year. A number, please?
4.
Tom, English law, what term is used to describe legal actions or legal proceedings which cannot be brought because the periods laid down by the Limitation Act have elapsed?
Statute of limitations.
It's called statute barred. Again, please?
6.
Hugh, the name, please, of the 1,161-mile-long race in North America, won in 1995 by Doug Swingley, in 9 days, 2 hours, 22 minutes and 19 seconds.
This is the great Husky race, pulling sleds.
But I want a name for it.
Oh, the 1,000 miles?
It's called the Iditarod. Again, please?
8.
Christopher, the writer Dorothy L. Sayers, what did the L stand for?
Louisa.
Lee, L-E-I-G-H. A number, please, Roger?
3.
David, what sort of organisation or service in Germany is the BND?
The railways.
The Federal Intelligence Service. A number, please, Roger?
14.
Leslie, the two countries of Haiti and the Dominican Republic occupy which island in the Caribbean?
Hispaniola.
A number, please?
Number 9, please.
Mick, by tradition, this is the law, By tradition, on which day every year does the Lord Chancellor announce the names of new QCs?
On Lady Day.
Maundy Thursday. Again, please, Leslie.
Number 8, please.
Ireland. In which county is Malin Head, the most northerly point in the whole of Ireland?
Antrim.
Donegal. Again, please.
Number 12, please.
Roger. The name, please, of the leper in whose house in Bethany Jesus rested on his way to Jerusalem. Simon. Again, please, Leslie.
9.
Mick. Of which university is the new Lord Mayor of London automatically installed as the Chancellor?
Middlesex.
The City University of London. Again, please.
Number 3.
David, computers. What do the letters RAM stand for in computering?
Random access memory.
A number, please.
14.
Still computers, Leslie. What do the letters ROM stand for?
Read-only memory.
A number, please.
Number 10, please.
Stanley, who in 1906 was the first man to win a general election or lead his party to a general election victory in the United Kingdom this century?
Campbell Bannerman.
A number, please.
Number 3.
David, the present standard aspect ratio of a television screen is 4:3. What will it be when widescreen high-definition sets are introduced?
14:9.
16:9. Again, please.
Oh, number 4, please.
Tom, names. What sort of name is a matronymic or metronymic name?
A name taken from one's mother.
Yes, it is. A number, please. Or derived from?
Yes. Number 10, please.
Stanley, which West African country has a capital city named after the 5th President of the USA?
Liberia.
Yes, Monrovia, after James Monroe.
14.
Which scientific measuring device was invented in the 1640s by the Italian Evangelista Torricelli?
The barometer.
Yes, the mercury barometer.
And number 12, please.
The Bible, the authorised version, St Paul, the first epistle to the Corinthians, and now abideth faith, hope, charity. These 3. What is the next line?
And the greatest of these is charity. 4.
Which body, Tom, is the navigational authority for 2,000 miles of canals and rivers in England, Scotland and Wales?
The Rivers Authority.
It's called British Waterways. I'm not sure who feels more wrung out, me or these 3. After the break, Stanley Miller from Kenton in Middlesex, Roger Robinson from Haroldwood in Essex, and Leslie Booth, our reigning champion from Huddersfield, will be here for the final of the grand final. Please don't miss it.
The 3 surviving contestants in the 15-1 grand final are Stanley Miller, who is semi-retired and who comes from Kenton in Middlesex, Roger Robinson, who is currently unemployed and who comes from Haroldwood in Essex, and Leslie Booth, a retired Building Society executive from Huddersfield.
Thank you. Welcome back. Stanley, Roger, Leslie, the final of the grand final. 40 questions, all on the buzzer. No question, no nominate. First to buzz gets a chance to answer. As usual, 10 points a correct answer. 1 life disappears for every incorrect answer. And if you do lose your 3 lives, you are eliminated. At the end of the 40 questions, the winner is the contestant with the highest score, irrespective of the number of lives left. Only if we have a tie would we then consider the number of lives at 10 points each. If you're happy with all of that, here we go. Food and drink, this one's food. Prices listed in The Economist in April. For what is an average price in the USA, $2.32, in Britain £1.74, in Russia 8,100 rubles, in Australia $2.45, in Japan 391 yen, and in Germany 4.8 Deutschmark, its usual accompaniment being extra. That's a Big Mac from McDonald's. The Conservatives' last 4 general election victories. In which years? Stanley?
79, 83, 87, 91.
92. What were Raquel Welch, Zoe Wanamaker, Joan Collins and Julie Goodyear doing at the London Palladium? Roger?
They were presenting BAFTAs.
Yes. A book of the Old Testament is named after him, and his name has become synonymous with patience. Who was he? Leslie?
Job.
Who said at a press conference in April of this year, when seagulls follow the... Roger?
Eric Cantona.
Yes. The site of which famous 14th century battle is 2 miles south of Stirling? Stanley?
Bannockburn.
Judaism. The shield of David is not shaped like a shield at all. Stanley?
It's a 6-pointed star.
Try to picture this. 2 men sailing from the southern tip of New Zealand, one sailing due east, one sailing due west. They would end up, please, in which 2 neighbouring South American countries? Roger?
Chile and Argentina.
Astronomy. What can be described as a region, possibly a collapsed star, from which light and matter... Roger?
Black hole.
In a 1994 survey for the magazine Management Today, which company in the health and household sector was voted Britain's most respected company? Stanley?
Marks and Spencer.
Rentokil. Which famous phrase attributed to Sherlock Holmes is nowhere to be found? Roger?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yes, nowhere to be found in any of the writings of Arthur Conan Doyle. Australia. Which Englishman was named in April 1995 by the Republican Party of Australia as Republican of the Year, being the... Roger?
Prince Charles.
Yes, Prince Charles, the person who had done the most in 1994 to advance the Republican cause. Will you please look at this? A right-angled triangle. AB is 12 inches, BC is 5 inches. What is AC? Roger?
13.
Connections. How is the edible fruit of the trees of the genus Morus linked with the D-Day landings of World War II? Leslie?
Mulberry.
Yes, mulberry being the fruit of the tree and Mulberry Harbour being the harbour that was towed across the channel for the landings. Politics. In which year did John Major become Prime Minister? Leslie?
1990.
In 1955, Winston Churchill was offered and refused a dukedom. Leslie?
Of London.
Shakespeare. Of which character in a Shakespeare play is it said, age cannot wither her? Leslie?
Cleopatra.
The term Paleolithic is used to describe the early or old Stone Age. What term is used to describe the later or new... Stanley?
Neolithic.
What's this all about? Altrincham, Stansgate and Hailsham in 1963. Leslie?
They all renounced the peerage.
Yes. What 4 books make up the Book of Kells, kept at Trinity College in Dublin? Leslie?
The illuminated copies of the Gospels.
Yes, the first,
Gospels.
Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Painting and art. What is the name of the brown pigment obtained from the ink? Leslie?
Sepia.
3 names in the correct order, please, of the 3 queens who have ruled in the Netherlands since 1890. Stanley?
Wilhelmina, Juliana and Margrethe.
Margrethe's in Denmark. Beatrix. Roger, I'm left with you and Leslie. A plaque at Prestwick Airport in Ayrshire marks the only visit in 1960 to... Leslie?
Elvis Presley.
Yes, on his way home to the United States at the end of his army service in Germany. In what field are Johnny Mercer, Jimmy Van... Roger?
They're band leaders.
Songwriters. Shakespeare, Macbeth. At the opening of Macbeth, following an exchange between the 3 witches, the king enters. King who? Leslie?
Duncan.
The name, please, of the organisation which publishes which magazine? Leslie?
The Consumer Association.
In which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta is Nanki Poo the... Leslie?
The Mikado.
What's this all about? In March of this year, £47,566 to the Morecambe Youth Band for 25 musical instruments. £29,500 to Great Grimsby Council for the purchase of a grand piano. £980,000 to the South Bank Board and £98,000 to the Unicorn Children's Theatre in London. Roger?
Arts Council grants?
You've got to go a bit further. No, it's the National Lottery, the first Arts Council distribution of lottery money. English law. Piscary is a right concerning... Leslie?
Fishing.
Which socialist and playwright was once described by Lenin as a good man fallen among Fabians? Leslie.
George Bernard Shaw.
Music. Who in the middle of the 18th century wrote the masque Alfred, which includes the tune Rule Britannia?
Thomas Arne.
3 British monarchs sat on the throne in the 1930s. How many? Roger?
2.
The question was going to be, how many coronations were held in the 1930s? The answer, 1, which is the end of the grand final. Well, Stanley, a previous 15-1 champion, and Roger, I think the two of you found Leslie on superb form today. Leslie, your winning score of 152. I don't need to add on those 3 lives. Well done, all of you. Well done, Stanley. Well done, Roger. Well done, Leslie. And Leslie, for a second year running, Laura has something for you.
Here you are, Leslie. Reigning champion. You could put it next to your other trophy. There you are.
Oh, thank you.
Very well done
Super.
indeed.
Yes.
Brilliant. Have you got a space for it? Oh, you can find one, yeah. Shove the property over on one over. Well done.
That's it for this series. Before we go, let me tell you that Leslie's second win will mean that we will now have to wait even longer for the 15-1 special many of you have written asking for. A game in which the lineup includes 15 15-1 champions. Added to Anthony Martin's 3 wins, it means we'll have to wait until the end of Series 18 before we can fill the set with 15 champions. It only remains for me to thank the many people behind the scenes on 15-1 who make the whole thing look so easy. For me, that is, not the contestants. Have a nice summer, wherever you're taking your holidays, and we'll meet again in the autumn. Until then, goodbye.
Alexander Henry Fenwick Armstrong will be here with Pointless tonight at 7. Good job he doesn't use his full name. There'll be no time left for quizzing by the time he'd said it.